We were just coming back from a dinghy adventure when we saw another catamaran anchored really close to us. It looked like it might be okay unless the wind and current changed, so you can guess what happened next.
Yeah. Do you know how to drive? Yes. Yes.
Have you ever wanted to sail around the world but don't know anything about sailing? Well, that was us just a short time ago, so sail along with us and learn from our mistakes. We spent 2 years fixing up an old catamaran, and in just 10 months we've sailed up to Alaska and all the way down to Panama while fixing the boat along the way. We're out here making our dreams come true with our new crew member Coconut, who we found abandoned on a small island. This trip has already been a life-changing experience, so hit subscribe and join us as we sail around the world on this massive adventure. I can't stop smiling.
It's okay. You can let it touch. Watch the very back.
Yeah.
Is the captain?
No, Marine. Captain, and there is a go. Yeah.
Do you know how to drive?
Yes.
Yes. Can you drive the boat forward?
Yeah.
Do you need help?
Okay. One moment, please.
Yeah. We use this. It's good. Hey, that engine? No. Just this one. That engine has rope.
Yes.
No, this is good. That engine is no. Okay? Just uno engine.
No.
Yeah, forward. Space. We'll pick up our bridle and then let more anchor out, so we'll go further back. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Let it out. Let it out.
Maybe we should go back up. Should we go turn our engines on and back up?
Let it out more.
We're swinging in a weird way because of the...
What?
It's just we're swinging in a weird way because of the current.
Yeah. What? The wind should catch us in a second.
You just watch him again, bub.
Okay, we're swinging. Should we turn our engines on?
Well, in case, then we can just push ourselves that way or something.
Can't really. He's gonna get help. So this day is just super exciting. I was on the exercise bike, which is the reason for this, no judgment. And I spotted the other boat and it looked really close. And it turns out I was right because it was about 2 feet away from us. And we ran outside and we were just able to get a fender in between the two boats.
Otherwise it would have hit 100%.
Oh yeah, I would have hit multiple times, many times. And like, it would have been like the back of their boat hitting the side of our boat. There's one guy on their boat, he's not the captain, but he did a great job. He kept on putting himself in between the two boats, and I was trying to tell him not to do that.
But he doesn't, he speaks Spanish, so it was hard, but
Yeah.
we try and tell him not to do that because obviously it's not worth him getting hurt, and because he wasn't the captain, he wasn't 100% sure what to do, so but we got across the point of putting the fenders there, and then him turning on the engine just to try and give it that little bit of push away from the boat while we had time to let our anchor chain out.
And then, so we let our chain out, but the current is going different than the wind, so it's really kind of messed up. And then someone else came and helped and jumped on, another dinghy came and jumped on his boat. And it's not the people on that boat, we know them, they're friends of ours. We just met them, but they're cool.
From
on
the
a different boat.
behind, yeah.
The wind is really blowing, so I'm not sure if you can hear a lot of this right now.
But yeah, that catamaran just came in today. So we've been at this Anchorage just with the other monohull ourselves for a fair while, and the cat just came in today. We did think they were anchored very, very close to us, but it's really the wind picking up just really pushed them right onto us today.
So it looks like the other captain has showed up. Disaster has been averted. One person has fallen in the water just now, but they're going to be okay as long as they should turn off that outboard.
Yeah, she's behind the dinghy with the outboard engine on.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Everyone's out of the water now, and it looks like they're going to pick up anchor and move, which is awesome.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I think we owe our boat neighbors a beer or 5.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think like what we can learn from this. The only thing I can think is that when they anchored super close to us, I don't think they were on the boat when we got back. We were out on the dinghy, and then when we got back to the boat, they were here.
It's still only the one guy.
Oh yeah, was he on the boat? I didn't see
Yeah.
anyone, but we could either ask them to politely move further away
Or ask them to impolitely move further away.
and then if they don't, or if he couldn't, then I guess we just move, because that probably would have been a better thing. Take the time out of our day and move, even though we've been here for a fair while, and just put it on ourselves to move.
Yeah, it is really funky. The current is different than the
wind.
And
the wind has suddenly gotten quite strong, so it's pushed us against the current, and everyone's kind of taken that on differently.
But there's no reason to anchor that close. This is like off season, and there's zero reason. There's you
so
could
much
fit
room.
another 10 boats here.
You could fit more than 10.
Yeah.
Easily. There's heaps of room. I'll show you. So all that room, and this is all anchorable. And then all of that room. And now they've moved to there, but they were, very, 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 very close to us where they anchored when they got here today. And just one guy inside the boat. So yeah, I think next time we'll ask them to move because they were already close. But we also didn't kind of realize that the wind would pick up how it did and all of that. But I guess that's something for us to learn. And yeah, we got our brow tail off quickly though, and
just let out
a bunch of chain. that was the quickest way for us to get away from them, I think. Quicker than pulling. We couldn't actually pull up our chain because they were on top of it.
Well, hold on, we could have. We just would have rammed right into them.
Yeah, we would have rammed right into them. So it had to be them that turned on the engines to move. And I mean, I feel bad for him because he's not the captain, and
he did a fantastic job.
He did.
And we are probably going to drop him off a beer or something
as well,
because he did an outstanding job in preventing any damage.
Yeah, and he clearly wanted to not let our boat get damaged, even though we were trying to tell him not to put his body between us. But yeah, he did good. Anyway, a little bit of excitement for the day. Hopefully no more to come, although that storm does look quite dark.
I don't know if it's coming for us.
No, it might just go around us. The wind has come, but not too much.
I don't know, it feels like a lot. It's enough to put us at odds to the current.
Yeah. So we let out heaps of chain when that whole incident was happening. So we're just going to pull some of it back in now, because if we swing the other way in the night, we'll probably hit them over that side. So we're going to just pull some up now.
Just little bits at a time. Okay. Ready?
Yep. We're just going to use the motor now to help push us forward and pull the anchor in, because it's really strong current going this way, so we can't just do it by pulling it in ourselves.
Okay, clear, drop it.
So the catamaran that came up really close to us today and now just basically hit us.
Wow.
And it did hit us, but we had our fenders in.
Yeah.
It has, you know, the dinghy came up to it with the rest of the crew, including the captain. They got on board, and I still think probably our friend on the other boat, our new mate, that had jumped on their boat to help, did a lot.
He did almost everything.
Yeah, so he got them to pull their anchor up because they were above our anchor chain, and we couldn't do that. We were letting our anchor chain out. So they got on the boat. They've now pulled up their anchor chain and moved, but they moved right next to the further monohull, which, like, there's only 3 boats here, which is kind of crazy. And then the guy on that monohull has started yelling at them because they are literally next to them from what we can tell.
Yeah.
And there's so much room here, you know, it's not like there's no room. And
it's just silly.
Yeah.
It's just silly. Anyway, we seem to be out of danger. We should probably pay attention just in case the other monohull needs help, so.
Yeah. You doing okay, Coco? Yeah? Alright, we are turning our engine off now. But we're definitely going to keep watching, because I can see the catamaran has actually moved because that guy was yelling at them, and they're kind of coming towards our way, so yeah. Back out to keep watching. It's about to get dark, so wish us luck tonight.
Hey, Captain Coconut.
Hey, Coco. Bit of excitement. Did you wonder what we were all running about for?
She was meowing orders from the cockpit.
She was in control, weren't ya? Hey? Oh, tired? So yesterday evening was pretty crazy. That boat, that they were chartering a boat, the catamaran, they came while we were away during the day, and we were out on a dinghy adventure. And when we got back, they were super, super close to us, anchored. One guy was inside, but we didn't kind of see him when we got back to the boat. and the rest of them were at, over on the island somewhere. And we were talking about how close they were, but I guess we just kind of left it. They were kind of where they were anchored was, I think, over our anchor. I'm trying to remember now, but they were, yeah, very, very close. Or maybe they were behind us.
It's weird because the current makes us sit weird. Sometimes our anchor's beside us, sometimes it's behind us.
Yeah.
It's odd.
This is a very weird anchorage for that. So the winds blow from all different directions, and the currents also come from varying directions. And obviously they're not always lined up, and so it depends. Sometimes the current is stronger than the amount of wind, and so your boat will kind of ride with the current rather than the way the wind is pushing you. But depending on the different boats and the windage and how like deep they are, the monohulls are very different to the cats, and even us two cats went different ways when that wind and current changed yesterday. And we were just lucky that we were able to kind of see and came out at just at the right time, and were able to grab the fender. That was the first thing we quickly did. Yelled out at the guy on the other boat who was inside but did hear us and came out really quickly. But he couldn't, because he wasn't the captain of the boat, he couldn't move forward easily. I don't think they had a bridle on, but we had a bridle on, so it was hard for us to pull ours up quick. Plus they were over where we could see our anchor going under their boat. So, I mean, like our anchor chain. But yeah, it was a very difficult situation. Hard to know what's the right thing to do in that moment.
I believe the right thing to do was panic.
Yeah, put fenders between, not put bodies between, even though that happened.
Yeah, the guy on the other boat, he did all he could. He was honestly great.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't have like a lot of experience or anything. Not that we do, but we had a bit more than him. And he actually jumped in between and put like his body in between the two boats, and we were telling him not to do that, you know,
it's not worth that.
Yeah, and we had the fenders there as well, so like we didn't want to see him getting hurt.
So the next thing we thought to do was take our bridle off and let more chain out. So we did that as he turned on his engines. We were yelling out at him not to turn on his port engine because they had like paddle boards and lines in the water right around that engine. We didn't want his prop to get foul. That'd be the worst thing at that time. So he got that going. One of our friends heard the commotion and came over on a dinghy and ended up helping him move that boat forward and out of the way after it kind of swung around and almost hit both sides of our boat. We let a bunch of chain out, so we went further back. And then that's when the rest of the crew and the captain from that charter boat arrived. One of them fell off the dinghy because I think it was kind of mayhem when they arrived at their boat. Fell off the dinghy, their dinghy motor was on, the main boat engine was on the starboard side, lines were in the water, so it's kind of chaos. And they ended up pulling up the anchor, going over behind us to those boats, and we could then hear a monohull yelling out at them to stop anchoring so close to them. So even though it's a really big area with plenty of room, they kind of moved right over to another monohull and ended up having to move again because they were too close to them. So I guess they were just extremely new and didn't fully kind of, I don't know, it's hard. It is a difficult anchorage with the way the currents.
It is, but I mean, look at the space, right? There is a decent amount of space on this anchorage, and there was nobody all the way up here or anything. They could have gone there.
And at other times we've had like 3 boats between us and the island with plenty of space. But anyway, it is what it is, and I guess we've learned different things, but we'd probably still do the same thing, I think.
I think we would probably knock on their boat and ask them if they could move.
When we first got back to the boat,
because
they were extremely
They were
close
very
already.
close, yeah.
And we knew that the current and the wind gets funny in this anchorage. We've actually talked to someone else who's lived here for 10 years, pretty much at this anchorage. They do like explore a bit, but they've come down from New York and they were going to keep going, but they've loved it so much they've stayed for 10 years. And she said that, yeah, it's a very unusual anchorage for that, and she's seen many a charter boat hit another boat that they've been too close to. So yeah, bit of fun and games for last night, but now we're on to hard work.
After staying up last night, being concerned about the boats hitting, and sleeping in heavily.
Yeah, and it's a nice, not super sunny day, so it's nice to be doing some work outside when it's not crazy sunny.
And I would like to apologize for, I was in my biking shorts that I use to exercise on the exercise bike we have on board. And it seems like every time something goes wrong, I'm in, like, when the possible pirates were chasing us, I was in like boxers. I was at like 6 in the morning. This time I had just gotten off the exercise bike and I was still in that. So for some reason I'm always in like ridiculous clothes when things go wrong. So it is what it is. Anyway, back to the important stuff. We are gonna cool down this boat. How are we gonna do that?
We're going to do it by putting proper covers on these windows. Right now, when it's been super sunny days, we've put a bunch of blankets that we've got on the boat that were useful in Alaska, but less useful since then. A bunch of different blankets we've been lying over the windows to protect them from the sun, like blasting the saloon.
And especially because those windows are angled,
Yeah,
it gets really bad. And you can feel from the inside, it gets super hot.
Yeah, so we're going to start with these 2 front windows. We've got some material on board that we bought back in Canada, I think. And we're going to start with these 2. We're going to measure them first, make a little plan, and then go in and start sewing. And that's what we'll be doing this evening and tonight, I think.
All night. This is getting done.
Yeah.
And we're also going to do the side windows. You can see them there.
Yeah.
But the side windows is important when the sun starts coming down like this, when it's not straight overhead. But
these are the most important to start with. So
and the boat gets hot. It gets to like 40, 45 degrees inside the boat.
And covering these significantly helps. And even when we have aircon on, covering these helps a lot because the aircon can keep up. Otherwise, our little unit just struggles to cool the saloon down. And, you know, Coconut really likes it cool.
Yeah.
She loves it when we cover this up and put aircon on and it's nice and cool inside. She's so much happier. So.
She gets way more cuddly when it's cooler.
Yeah. Okay, let's start. So we're going to put those like buttons that you push into. So how far down do we want it?
I'd say right at the bottom.
Down here?
Yeah.
How far up?
I'd say about 35.
Down to there?
Yeah.
So this one's 36 inches, about 92 centimeters. And we'll measure the other one just in case it's different, but it should be about the same. So as usual, we didn't really get round to finishing this job last night.
Or starting it. We didn't start it either.
We didn't start it either. We're starting today. So our first problem is that we have to kind of play Tetris to fit in all 4 windows into this bit of fabric. And the first way we were going to do it, it doesn't quite fit, but we're trying to make it fit.
And that's because this fabric was ordered originally to be dinghy chaps.
Yeah.
So now we're just trying to find enough space to like put all the fabric out on the deck.
Yeah, and to make the windows fit. So we've laid it all out and measured, and we actually do have enough, so it means we actually do need to do this job today. And yeah, let's get to it, bub.
Cutting first, I guess?
Yeah, cutting first and then measuring twice, isn't it? So this was the material that we were going to use to make dinghy chaps, and we've never got round to doing it, and now we think it's nice grey material that will suit the boat for the window covers. But this we realised is super duper hot to stand on now that it's been in the sun. So we were like, oh, that's not going to work. It's just going to make it really, really hot and like, you know, pass on to the window and then make it hot on the inside. But this side of it, the darker side, is a lot cooler. So we think as long as we have this side on the facing the sun, it'll be okay.
And one side is fabric-ish and the other side's PVC.
Yeah, this is the fabric side, so this is much cooler. And then we're thinking maybe down the track as well, we'll put something like an insulation type thing underneath it, just the same cutout as the actual, or what we make, and then that'll like separate it a bit from the window and hopefully make it even cooler. But for now, I think this side will be fine because now it's been like baking in the sun, it's quite okay. So we're taking a quick break from all our cutting and measuring, and we're doing a few of our chores for the day. So firstly, we're making some water, and that's probably going to take a couple of hours, and we've offered to make some water for another boat here that doesn't have a water maker. And we're doing our grocery shopping. Right from here, the best spot on the boat. If you can see that boat coming behind us, that's the fruit and veggie boat. And we actually got their number earlier in the week from Yvette, who lives on shore. And we messaged them that we wanted some fruit and veggies because we missed the boat last week. I don't think it came out to this Anchorage. So we asked them if they were coming and told them some fruit and veggies that we wanted, and they said no worries. And so that's them, we think. And hopefully they'll be coming here with some fruit and veggies so we can have some fresh food again, which will be really nice. Hola. Hello.
Wow, too. Matana.
Manzana. Oh, that was so nice. Stop filming with me, Coke. We actually got heaps and heaps of fruit and veggies. This was just our little treat on the side.
Yeah, our stash is down here. They even had fresh cheese and fresh Parmesan. So
Apples, aubergines, potatoes, carrots, cabbage, cucumber.
I mean everything.
Garlic. They have mangoes.
We're gonna be eating.
Watermelon.
You're gonna continue? We're gonna be eating really well for like, we were on canned food for the past week, which, I mean, hey, it's not bad. We're still out here, right? Oh man, we're gonna make some good food now. But I think we should probably get back to the sewing project after we put this away. So we filled up water for one of the other boats in the Anchorage, and they also don't have a sewing machine, and we have a sewing machine on board, and this sewing machine was on board when we bought the boat. It's just like a hand stitcher. So we're gonna go and see if they could use it as well.
And then we will finally get around to cutting the material.
And you already got your stuff also.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Did they bring everything you wanted to?
Except eggs.
Yeah,
I think
except
that's what
eggs.
just said. Where are you going? Did you
No
push it?
eggs.
Oh, that's a pity. So we won't get eggs.
I don't know, they might know you better.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't think it has to do anything to do with that. If they don't get it, they don't get it, right?
Yeah.
Not really. Thank you so very
The
much.
freshest
for
of the fresh water. It was at like 100 parts per million, so.
Thank you so much for the water.
So we're only finally getting back to work now, just as the sun is starting to set, but at least it's a nicer temperature out here to do some work.
Yeah, we have like maybe an hour at the most of sunlight left,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna get this stuff cut.
We've measured and we've marked it out.
And we're using our special scissors. These
Only
scissors are
allowed.
only for cutting fabric. Ooh, how is it?
Super nice. Oh, can't reach the end.
But if we can get it. Did you draw this?
Yes, that's perfect. The green would be to the next. So last night we came in and got the old sewing machine out.
It's a brand new sewing machine.
Is it? It doesn't look brand new, but
Oh, come on.
anyway, we haven't used it for a very long time, but hardly at all. And I made these with like a little tiny, like a normal sewing machine. This is like a
beefy
Sailrite kind of type sewing machine.
It's a Sailrite knockoff.
Yeah, Barracuda. Anyway, we got some of the material that we had cut off, like the triangle pieces.
See all those testing pieces we did?
Yeah, to practice. But it was coming out terrible, like all bunched up. Like every bit that we were doing. The other side would look kind of okay, but not great. So basically I had my sister on the phone from England for like over an hour at like 1 AM our time. And we changed a bunch of things. We changed the bobbin direction. We checked how this was all running.
The thread tension.
Yeah, the thread tension. We went from all different types, a bunch of things. And eventually she was like, what about the needle? Have you changed the needle? That's one of the things that can cause a few of these problems. And we were like, no, it's fine. The needle's fine. She kept on us. And so we found another needle, swapped it out, even though we thought it looked the same. And it worked perfectly after that. So something was wrong, either it was blunt or a little bit bent or something causing all the problems, and as soon as we changed that, it was just a perfect nice line. So we are finally ready to start sewing these window covers.
And the reason we didn't is because at like 1 o'clock when we were like ready to start, a massive storm rolled in, and so we were getting winds, maybe not massive, we were getting winds of like 25, 26 knots.
Yeah, up to 27, 28, and heaps of lightning and thunder. Like the lightning would go like that, and then the thunder would go pretty much straight after, so it was really on top of us. And so I fell asleep and Darcy stayed up to check we weren't dragging, just because of how it can be in this Anchorage, and there's quite a lot of boats here last night and this morning. So he stayed up and I had a nice sleep, and he had a little bit of a sleep in today, and now we are finally ready to go. And so while I do
3 in the afternoon.
yeah, we might have another late night tonight. So I'm going to do this. Darcy's going to get on the bike because he needs to do some exercise, and we're going to enjoy making these, I think, and we'll show you a little bit of the process, and then we'll show you hopefully once they're done. And
Captain Coconut has some very important cleaning to attend to. Hey, Cokes?
Okay.
Oh, you're such a cutie. Can I have a kiss? Oh, thank you for the kiss. All right. Captain Coco says get to work.
Yavu. So this sewing machine is super intimidating. It's a walking foot machine, and I've never used one of those before, and it's just super duper fast. Like your foot moves like tiniest little millimeter, and it goes from like not moving to going 100 kilometers an hour. So I don't know if there's a way to make it just go slower apart from moving my foot less, but I swear it's like the tiniest difference, and it's like bam, fast. But anyway, hopefully I'll get more used to it by the end of this.
Yeah, it's a lot of sewing.
Yep. That's me trying to put my foot down less.
Seems like Sean Quinn's loving it, so...
Yeah, good for him. Just looking at the second finery take, that does follow the step pattern that we're familiar with within the Pyrenees. And then we...
So we got pretty much most of the rest of the sewing done last night. Stayed up a bit longer than we should have probably, because it took quite a long time. We haven't done any sewing in quite a while, so we're back to used to it now though, and I think it's gone pretty well. What we've been planning on doing today is putting the button, like the clip buttons on, and we've organised where they're going to go, and we've practiced using the special tool that does it, and so that's our next job. But because it's like the middle of the day now, it is boiling inside the boat. We didn't put the covers that we've been putting on because we thought we'd have it done by now.
I would say they're more blankets than covers.
Yeah, the blankets. So now the inside, because we haven't had it covered, it's like a sauna. So we're not getting a whole lot of work done, and instead we're going to go for a nice swim.
Is it cold?
Oh, not at all. Still refreshing though. So we're getting a little bit distracted by Coconut's cuteness today. We've gotten a fair bit done. We've got the buttons on. I'll show you the last few of them in a second. Darcy's just doing most of those. And the next step would be to drill and fill with fiberglass little spots in the hull where we're gonna, or in the cabin top I suppose, where we're going to connect the window covers to. We might leave that till tomorrow because there's rain coming. Oh, Coconut's just being extra cute again. Hey? Oh. Yeah, I know, you're very cute, Coco. We might just go chill and take the rest of the day off once I show you the rest of those last buttons, and we'll do the fiberglassing tomorrow once it hopefully isn't gonna rain. Yeah, you're adorable, I know. Wanna come have some dinner on the front deck? Yeah? We've got these beautiful coconuts, well, not coconuts, pineapples to have that we got yesterday from the fruit and veggie boat. And we've got some watermelons, apples, a bunch of other fruit and veggies that we can have. But we might just do some fruit, maybe a cocktail on the front deck, watch the sunset, and then we'll finish up with these window covers next time. But we might not have got a whole lot of work done this week, but we got a lot of fun time playing with coconut.
It's been so hot.
Yeah, Darcy's saying it's just been so hot. Once these window covers are on, I think it'll be a lot better and we'll get more work done next time, I promise. If Coco stops being so cute. No. So adorable. I'm going to play with our new fair lead. I know we need to do that. That's another job we can do. Is that a good massager? Should we leave it here and not attach it to the boat?
We've got a hold of how to do the button snaps now. I think Yvette was telling you a bit earlier on that we're almost done. That was a bold-faced lie. We are almost done a single piece out of the 4. We just have a couple more snaps to put on that one. So basically this is the process. You make sure you measure, this measurement is to right here, put a little dab with this permanent marker. It's easy enough. And then you have this, and this punches out a little hole in the fabric, and that's what that does. And I'll show you the other tools in a second here, but so you put this up and you put it on the fabric and then punch your hole. And there, you have a nice hole in the fabric right there. And from there you take these buttons, and there's a lot of reading. The directions aren't like the clearest, and that goes to show you like how much you could screw this up. But anyways, so you put this, and this is called the cap. So you put it on the back side through that hole. Okay, so it's through the hole. And then this is called the, what is it called? It's called the socket. And so you put this button piece over top of the cap. And you'll see the cap has a little end that like protrudes out right here. And so you put this just kind of right over top of that end. And then you use the punch. So this is the backing plate for the punch. So you put this down on a cutting board like this and move it right underneath. And then you get this punch and put it right here. And then you got to give it some wax. And Bob's your uncle. And then I've been testing all of them to make sure. So this is now on, and then you pop that on. And this is what's going to go into the boat. It's going to screw into the boat. And so it pops on fine. So then you pop it off. And there's one done. And we only have to do like 50 of them. Nah, not anymore. No. Now we got to do like 40 of them. 48 of them.
48 in total, and we've done one panel, so I don't know how many that is.
We've almost done 8. I got to do 2 more on this one. So we got to do 40 more.
Almost done, that's what I said.
I mean, practically done, right? But
and then those screw-on bits, they're the things we need to screw into the deck.
Yeah.
And before that, we're going to drill a hole, fill it with fiberglass so that any water that gets in won't rot the core.
Yep.
And then we'll screw those in, and then we'll be done. And that part we're probably going to get to tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know if Yvette told you, but the weather's looking like it's going to go for a turn. So we would have liked to have finished this up this week, but at least we'll be like ready to go, like ready to put it up for when we get a good day. Tomorrow might not be a good day, so we'll see. Anyway, that's and we're super pumped because the quotes we got for like doing this was a lot.
In Mexico too.
In Mexico, yeah, it was like an extra like $500 or $600 American.
Yeah.
And the sewing machine cost $500 American. So
We've already made that back.
we've made it back. So now we're getting free everything now from the sewing machine.
Yeah, just the material.
Minus the material cost. That made me cry.
We bought the buttons on Amazon though, so.
Yeah, the buttons were Amazon. The material cost we've had the material for quite a while.
So we
'cause I
bought it online?
I bought it online, but like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close to having a sleek looking boat when we're at anchor.
And a cool
boat in more than one way.
That's the most important thing. For
Yeah.
Coco anyway. She's gonna love it.
Coco doesn't like the hammering.
No, she doesn't. Alright, I'm gonna get some fruit ready, and by the time you finish this, we can have a nice chill time on the front deck.
Ooh. Sounds lovely.
Now, isn't this the life? Okay, is anyone wondering why we're smiling all the time? Because we have been asked that. I mean, who wouldn't be out here? We know we're extremely lucky. We're super grateful that we've had this like life and been born in such a beautiful place, and you know, had good educations and been able to make this happen, and we're both hardworking, and yeah, we're just very, very grateful, and we're having a beautiful time out here, so that's why we're happy all the time. This is, you know, only certain things we're going to be sad about, like our health or our family or, you know, important things. So while we're out here and everything's going well, there's no reason not to smile and be happy. Isn't that right, Darcy?
Panic!
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a cutie.
Yeah.
Well, cheers
Cheers.
to coconut drinks,
Yeah.
coconut cats.
All the best kind of coconuts.
Yeah. It's just been like the past couple weeks out in San Blas has been amazing.
Yeah.
All of it has. And I would tell you like how thankful we are, but I think Yvette just did.
Yeah, I did already. I think we're both just brimming with like gratitude lately. It's just beautiful out here, and I think when we first set out to sail around the world a few years ago and have worked so hard to try and make it happen, this is the kind of thing we were like dreaming about and picturing, and to be finally here after all the hard work on the boat and everything, it's pretty special.
Yeah. And I mean, there has been like other stuff that we weren't thinking was gonna be as good, that was like insanely good, and like we've had everywhere we've been, we've had just an absolute blast. But this is like the coconuts and the palm trees and the fruit and and that's kind of what you envision for a little bit of the trip at least. So we just can't believe almost that we're like here, and so many people have done so much to help us along the way, and it's just we're so lucky to be here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have to do a little bit more work to the boat still, but now each job we're doing kind of makes the boat more livable, makes it more homey and friendly and all of that. So
Yeah, I think it really feels like home now.
Yeah.
This is it.
It probably has something to do with Coconut the cat as well.
Yeah. Definitely. She's getting more used to it as well. I think she's starting to feel like it's home. Getting used to coming out the front a bit more, and getting used to different spots on the boat that she likes, making herself at home.
It is a bit difficult with her on board, because she's always like underfoot, because she just wants to hang around 100% of the time. So like if you're sitting at the table, she's sitting right by your feet, and if you don't recognize that, then you could easily step on her. And so we should put up like a sign saying like, watch out for Coconut before like you get off the couch or anything.
Literally anywhere any step you take, even if the last time you saw her was back over in another room, she'll be under your feet.
Yeah.
She just follows us around everywhere.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'd like to give a huge thanks to everybody that watches, likes, subscribes. The most important thing is that you guys enjoy the videos, and all the Patreons. Like, we can't even begin to show our gratitude to what you guys are helping us do with the funding for extra camera equipment, better editing programs and everything, and it's just made our lives so much better making these videos. So thanks heaps.
Yeah, thanks heaps, and we'll see you all next Friday.
See you next Friday.
Cheers again. I'm gonna try some of this watermelon.
I'm gonna try some of. Would you do it? Oh no! Boop!
Oh, it's good.